U.S. Navy holds world-spanning large-scale exercise, biggest war games in decades. According to a news release by U.S. Fleet Forces Command on Tuesday, the massive drills are based on a progression of fleet battle problems and scenarios intended to refine how we synchronize maritime operations across multiple fleets in support of the joint force. The drills will last until August 16 and take place across 17 different time zones, according to the Navy, ranging from the Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea to the South China and East China Seas. The regions are perhaps the most likely to see protracted naval operations in the event of a future conflict with Russia or China, which the U.S. has identified as its near-peer competitors and shifted its global strategy toward outpacing and containing. James R. Holmes, the J.C. Wiley Chair of Maritime Strategy at the U.S. Naval War College, told U.S. military publication Stars and Stripes on Monday that the Navy was reverting to our World War II approach by de-emphasizing its large fleet carriers and trying to create a more flexible force that wouldn't be crippled by the loss of a few key warships. However, the core of U.S. naval power projection remains its 11 massive Nimitz-class and Ford-class aircraft carriers, the largest warships afloat at roughly 100,000 each. In addition, 9 smaller amphibious assault ships used by the Marine Corps, which can carry helicopters and F-35s in addition to Marine Expeditionary Units and their beachhead assault equipment, effectively function as another type of aircraft carrier. About 36 ships and more than 50 virtual units, in addition to military, civilian and contract personnel, will participate in the exercise. 6 Naval and Marine Corps component commands, 5 U.S. fleets and 3 Marine Expeditionary Forces will be involved. Last year, USMC planners began rethinking the force's composition amid changing strategic goals and moved to shift away from ground combat and toward a greater naval role. They have drawn up plans for ditching most of the core artillery, tanks and several infantry battalions, while looking instead toward rocket artillery and light amphibious warships and docking vessels. That is, in turn, part of a greater shift in emphasis on building up the Navy's missile arsenal to match China's massive force of long-range anti-ship missiles, many of which have ranges so great they not only exceed U.S. missile ranges, but U.S. radar ranges. The Pentagon has also been looking at further expanding its naval operations in the Arctic, which will become both increasingly navigable and conflict-prone as climate change leads to melted polar ice caps and makes possible exploitation of fisheries and mineral resources in the region. The Navy has announced plans for freedom of navigation types of operations in the Arctic like those it stages in the South China Sea and Black Sea, among other places, to challenge what Washington considers the excessive maritime claims of nations like Russia, China, and Vietnam.